So good everyone, welcome to Njenje Media Channel. This is Mazes speaking to us. An update on the Nigerian guy that basically vandalized cars in London. Many of you basically been requesting that we give you update on where he is and what's happening to him. We got in touch with Samson Akinola, who is the head of LOC in London, and who is a human rights lawyer. Today being the 21st of June 2019, he's gone to the magistrate court. Basically, he's gone to the court there, and the court told him that they do not have the young chap, and he's gone to the police. The police said the same thing. However, he was able to get information regarding his whereabouts, in the sense that they could not tell him exactly where he is, but the information is that he's out on bail. And I don't think the Nigerian embassy has actually charged him for that crime, basically, as it were. However, he's out. Now that he's out, there are basic things that we're trying to piece together, okay? One being that, according to the police today, well, he had a previous kind of questions to answer, maybe because he was involved in something else, but honestly, we do not care what he has done before. Everyone in life has their own moments. Now, what interests us here is to know what is actually happening, regarding his case with the embassy. In the course of trying to find out what has actually gone wrong here, it is very pertinent, and one would have to say this: the reason why we found out so far is because of the altercations, the argument that ensued in the embassy. Question is, was that vandalization avoidable? Yes, it was avoidable. Was that escalation manageable? Yes, it was manageable. However, how can you manage an altercation and an escalation when the people you are speaking to basically takes you as if you're not a human being? What happens when you are talking to someone, explaining to that person that you've driven, say, as you guys know, England is, or rather United Kingdom is 4 countries in one. So for instance, you've driven or you flew in from Scotland, or you drove on the road 8 to 12 hours coming, and someone tells you, oh, go home and get this, as if you live across the street. And you're trying to explain to that person that it might cost you over £250 to go back and come back. Why don't you, I can send this document, maybe if you want me necessarily, I can send this document by post, record it, you get it, look at it, then send me the details back. But in this modern time and age, an embassy does not allow you to get your passport by post. I mean, that is absolutely madness. So it's because of the human contact, and it appears, honestly, personally, I'm convinced so, that one of the reasons why they do not want to stop this is because the more they have this human contact, the more this, they come in contact with people, the more money they make, the more they flex people. Okay, so you can see that the reason why this happens is not necessarily as a result of because they care about you, is as a result of their inability to run an efficient and a very good system, basically, that will work. Now, I would rather think that to prevent such is better than cure, because the whole madness could have been prevented. I'll give you an example. When the guy, had that altercation and the security within the embassy saw that he was already angry, that he was agitated, the best thing you do is you de-escalate the situation. And how do you de-escalate the situation? Either you call in a supervisor who has a superior authority to override the clerk, or you call in a manager who could now talk to him like a human being properly. If that was done, I do not believe that we would have that situation where the cars were vandalized. However, it equally appears so. Many of us that have been speaking up against what the embassy has been doing, it equally appears that even the vandalization is a blessing in disguise if they want to work. Because if they don't, this is going to be the starting point. More, things are likely to happen. Now, like I said before, when he was angry, that situation could have been de-escalated. And it bothers me personally that we had Jeffrey Onyama, I think from Enugu State, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs. Honestly, that guy was a waste of space. I don't care. I've said that publicly, in private. Many fellow Igbos would tell me, well, why do you have to criticize a fellow Igbo? I said, well, I never had him. It never appeared that we had anyone. Not that he was better than anybody previously. It's basically done nothing, because people get killed in South Africa. Even common Ghana would attack Nigerians. And what would he do? He would do nothing. You don't hear him. He's only maybe Abike Dabari that sometimes say something. And now pointedly here, even the Samson Akinola, who runs the AOU UK, is a human rights lawyer, equally has said time without number, they've reached out to the ambassador, they've reached out to former minister, and they've reached out to Abike Dabari. None of them reacted. But the moment those cars were destroyed, Abike Dabari issued a statement within 6 hours. Why do we have to wait? Why do we have to be so reactional? Why can't we improve the system to help us? Why do we have to only react when things go wrong? Why? Why is Nigeria like this? Okay, so the thing here, neither myself, Mazezoke, nor Samson Akinola has been able to get to this young chap. We are still looking for someone who knows him, because it is a case that most of us are interested. I am personally interested in that case because of his data breach. I'm in the data mining industry. I mean, a data analyst and a data scientist. I understand that area very well. His data has been compromised. There is a data breach here. The data ought to be protected, but his data was, he has a data breach. I would have nothing if the Nigerian embassy made a copy of his passport, or because the passport, remember, is like a plastic. If they've T-pexed where you have his date of birth, place of birth, maybe name, and made the other information available, I wouldn't have anything, right? And many of you equally. But the moment they released that data into the, we must demand, every single person must demand that whoever within the embassy that made that out, that brought that, passport out, must be punished. That is the only way that, we will begin to see semblance of change, because this madness cannot continue. Okay, so if you know this guy, if you have his contact, please get in touch to me. You can send me a DM on my Twitter handle at Mazezoke, at Mazezoke. That's at MAAZIEZEOKE. You can basically do that at Mazezoke, and I will get in touch with him, because he will get the financial support to take on the federal government of Nigeria. Now, to another point, people, some of you on the previous video has been asking questions. How do we that he couldn't sue Nigerian government? Of course he can. Of course he can. If you look at the video very well, there is an issue of the jurisdiction here, because he has actually gone out of the Nigerian embassy that is within the Nigerian, that is Nigeria within the UK. But where those cars were parked, there is a white line that you can see. Within those white lines are equally Nigerian jurisdiction. Okay, so it is within the jurisdiction that you can still take action. So no matter what is going to happen on the case of data breach, I think we need to come together. Today it was him, tomorrow it could be you. I think his name is Jeffrey. So today is Jeffrey, who has lost his cool and destroyed his cars. Everyone has their own moments of madness, and I think for Jeffrey that day was his own moment of madness. So he lost his cool. He's done what he did, but like I said before twice, I cannot condemn him because he was pushed to the wall. If you ever been to any of our high commissions, and the way they talk to you for a service you paid for, a service they ought to provide for you, basically you could at some point even do worse than this guy's done. Having said that, let them charge him to court, but I think within the court, there should, we should be able to prove that there was no intent there. The act was not done intentionally. It was a result of the frustration that he received within the embassy that led him into doing that. Okay, so, and as that continues, we will be updating you guys. The revolution that is going to happen within the African continent is about to start. So be part of it, because until we begin to take these actions, nobody within the government will ever respect you. So we must hold our leaders accountable. Let us start this by holding the embassies accountable, because no one respects you in any way, shape, or form. You come back to the airport, they basically take your passport. Everyone is squeezing you out, asking for money. Go through the comments of the previous video, close to 300 comments. Not a single person, over 95% of those comments were all saying the same thing, giving their own accounts. So it is time to come, because this guy has been the bridge that is bringing this up now, that everyone will need to lash on it to get somewhere, because this way we cannot get anywhere until we unite to fight something like this. So if eventually I get to have the contact of this guy and we get to approach the court, I will be updating us. But it's a case that I am personally interested in, because enough is enough, and we don't have to take this madness and let the sleeping dog lie. Subscribe to the channel. This is Mazi Ezoke. Remain blessed.